Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have another phone lot unboxing. I think I paid about 40 bucks for this. It's supposed to be like, I think 8 iPhones. Pretty sure it's everything from like a 5S up to a 7 Plus. So let's just go ahead and get this thing opened up. The reason I bought this is because they said it was untested, but they did try for like just turning them on. And 2 of them turned on. One of them was a first gen SE. It was on the home screen, so I think it might be unlocked. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of these unwrapped and we'll start checking them out. So they actually came in the second smaller box inside of that box for some reason. Let's rip this open. And there's the first phone. This is either 5S or an SE first gen. This one is an SE. This might be the one that was working in the pictures, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to power it on. It shows dead. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. I got like 4 chargers down here. All right, while that's charging, next up we got this iPhone 4S. This one is a 4S. Cracked screen, pretty scratched up on the back. I didn't know that there was this old of a phone in here, but I guess there is. Don't have a 30 pin, but I'll go grab one after I check out the rest of the phones. That's turning on, but I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling out more phones. Looks like the rest of them are all sideways in here. Let's start with this one on the end. I believe, yeah, this is iPhone 7 Plus. This one's pretty rough. Not bent. I thought it was bent at first. I think this might have been the other phone that was turned on, but I'm not sure. Okay, never mind. It is turning on. We'll see what those two do. And again, while we're waiting, let's pull out another phone. We got a silver iPhone 6. Looks like either the screen has been off or the battery's swollen or it's just cracked that bad. No power, but not really surprised there. I'll go ahead and just take all these out and test for power real quick. We got a gold iPhone 6 with a replaced screen and no SIM tray. Let's see if this has any power. That 7 Plus is on the setup screen. That's on the lock screen, so that has to be the one that was turned on. Next up, we got another iPhone 6. This one's space gray. Also pretty badly cracked like the silver one. No power. We have a regular 7 matte black, but there's no home button. So I honestly don't care about this, but the screen isn't cracked, so that actually, yes, it is. Never mind. Yeah. So there's that, and then last up we have this great condition iPhone SE with no camera in it, and I'm sure this one's gonna turn on. No surprise there. Let's go ahead and check out the 2 phones that did turn on. So we have an SE first gen, no password. Check for an iCloud. No iCloud, so that's good. This one might be completely fine. Let's check the storage. 16 gigs, so it's base model. It's running iOS 14. That's kind of cool. Battery health, 85. That's not great, not bad. Yeah, this thing's probably going to be the best out of the lot because there's not really a good chance of this being unlocked. I swear I just saw it say lock to owner. So it looks like that one is unfortunately locked. I'm not really surprised. I did plug these 2 in. They didn't show anything. I just plugged this in, not showing anything. But the 7 with no home button is showing something, of course. So I guess we'll see if that works. And then I'll try that iPhone 6. So I can't really say I'm surprised, but this is not showing any signs of life either. So at the moment, it looks like this is probably going to be the only working phone out of the lot, which is fine. It's a decent phone. But maybe this will turn on. If it does, I don't really know what to do with it because it's got no home button. And I guess I could still try this thing out, but it's cracked. So let me go grab a charger for this and we'll plug that in since we don't really have to test anymore with this charger. All right, so I've got the 4 trying to plug it in and it seems like this charging port's full. Okay, never mind. If I push on it, it starts charging. So I think what I'm gonna do is get like a SIM tool, try to get all the stuff out of the charging port and see if it actually starts to charge. But maybe that thing works. After that, I'm gonna leave it if it's charging. I'm gonna go ahead and check all of these on my computer for FMI status. If any of them are off, maybe they're worth fixing. But so far, SE, still the only phone. All right, so I've got these 4 tested. This iPhone 6 is FMI on, unfortunately. That SE is FMI off, but I have a feeling, just judging by that right there, that it's probably not worth fixing. This iPhone 6, the gold one with the replaced screen, is FMI on. And then the silver, I think this is the silver. Yeah, the silver iPhone 6, FMI off. So I'm kind of tempted to try to put a screen on this. Maybe I'll swap the screens between these 2, even though it's black and it would look stupid. But Yeah, so 50-50 on being FMI off, assuming that they have the original boards. Still waiting on this 4S to charge up, as you can tell. Still waiting on the 7 to charge up. This thing's still doing good. It's at 12 now. And this is locked already, but yeah, anyways, putting that trash can back to use right now. All right, update. I just took this screen off and put it onto this phone, and it actually does show that after cleaning out the charging port. But I did notice earlier that the battery's a little bit swollen, but shouldn't be a problem because this one's already loose from where this guy was messing with the phones before. So I think what I'm gonna do is, since this might actually work, I'll take the original home button out of that screen, put it in here, or it'll turn on. And maybe swap batteries if I need to get it to boot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So I'll swap batteries and screen home buttons and let this thing turn on and see what happens. All right, so I've got the home button switched out and an extremely smooth battery removal. I'm gonna go throw this thing outside because it smells terrible. Thankfully it's not charged. And then I'll put that in. That's turning on, so we got a lot of updates coming soon. So this has been on the Apple logo for like 5 minutes now, and it keeps flickering the Apple logo. So I'm pretty sure this has some sort of issue that I'm not seeing. I think unfortunately that one's gonna be dead. I did replug the screen cables on this other SE. I'm gonna try that out and see what happens. So believe it or not, that's all this thing needed. Now it's showing the low power symbol. So I'm gonna let this charge, and that never do anything. And also this thing is still charging somehow. 4S, what can you expect? So we got 2 turning on right now. We got the SE turning on and the 4S turning on. This thing is still charging for some reason, but all right, so this is, ooh, slide to unlock. Actually, no, these are all slide to unlock, I'm dumb. No password. Let's check the iOS version. So this one's on iOS 8.3. It's pretty cool because that's like a year out of date, I guess. And then iCloud status, it does have iCloud. So kind of sad, I think this is on iOS 10, judging by that right there, but I can't do anything about it, so I'm gonna go ahead and reset it. It also showed no Touch ID when it turned on, and it was disabled, so I tried 1, 2, 3, 4, it didn't work. I'm not worried about this really, because the Touch ID, and it's not even in good shape anyways. This thing's next up, but I'm about to go ahead and do this one. All right, so I just finished up the 6 repair. This is actually a 64 gig. I don't know what carrier it is because it doesn't say anything about it whatsoever in settings. Seems to work fine other than Touch ID. Got all the brackets inside from, like, combined with both phones, I guess. Gonna clean it up and see how it looks, but before that, I did try to find a screen for this. I didn't have one, but I have this 5S. It's like mint, but it doesn't show any signs of life for some reason. Came out of the Target bin. It's FMI off, but it doesn't work. I might take the screen off this, put that home button in, and get this thing working. Hopefully that works out good. Yeah. All right, guys, so I finished all the testing, all the resetting, part swapping, everything, and this is the final result. We got 3 working phones out of the lot. We'll start out with this iPhone 6. It's a silver one, has a black screen now because that's just the parts that it came with, but I think this one's a 64 gig. Yeah, 64 gig, not sure on the carrier, but maybe unlocked. Seems to work fine. Battery health is, I think 80 something, 89. So pretty decent. I'm gonna clean it up and see how nice the shell is. Probably not that nice. Next up, we got this SE. This is the one that turned off, or turned on straight out of the box. It's a 16 gig, so it's a base model, unlocked actually. And battery health is at 85, so not the best, not the worst, but it does seem like it's in really good shape. It's got a screen protector on it. I didn't put that on, it came with that. And then last up, we have this really nice SE. And this one, I put that iPhone 5S screen on that I mentioned, which actually turned out to be in pretty decent shape. Home button, I was hoping it was gonna get better with the screen swap, but it didn't. You can kind of hear it. And it's like sunk down a little bit, but it does work. Touch ID works. Oh, this one doesn't have Touch ID. But anyways, this is a 32 gig. Not sure on the carrier, let me check. SIM locked something. This thing has 89%, I think it's dying right now. It's got 89% battery health, but it says service, which I've never seen before. It's like frozen up. It's a weird one, I don't know. It doesn't have a back camera and it's kind of throwing everything off. But it does seem to work fine somehow. But anyways, those are the 3 phones that I managed to get out of this. Probably gonna sell this one. Don't know how to sell that one. I'll keep this one because of the condition. I hate that auto box, but oh well. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one.